Yeah.
Make it hard for each other. Going strong, they kill you off for a color. It's deep.
Yeah. Yeah. Praying for the day that you get me. Heard they tryna knock my hustle like Nipsey. Can't step a foot in my city. Cause when they see you doing well, they even try to excel. They let you flatten yourself. This what ain't nothing pretty. Or how this been. My type of day just got me feeling no some type of way. Typing inside of my phone another song to get me through another day. Been teaching me you got a funny way. I had to work on my face.
Welcome back to Let Me Speak podcast, you guys. As always, I'm your host, Asia. Thank you so much for tuning in again. Today, I have an amazing guest with me, Rashi B from Detroit, Michigan, 20 years old, talented artist, Black King, all that. And that song that we just heard was called Clear My Mind by Rashi B. You want to go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and about what that song is about?
Yes. So like you said, I'm from Detroit, Michigan, Rashi B. My actual name is Rashi Brown, but I shortened it. You feel me? Clear My Mind was really about, a lot of things that built up over a couple years. All the killings and police brutality, Nipsey's death, which really had an impact on me. Just really figuring out that grind in me. Like, I'm a college student right now, so it's trying to figure out like where I want to go in my life and just writing down everything that like been on my mind since and how I'm dealing with it as a Black man and seeing like Black crime like everywhere. In the sense of people getting killed for shoes, jewelry, money, whatever it is. Like people just being greedy and wanting what other people want. So that's really what that was about.
I love it. I love that. I love that song a lot. So when I first heard it, I fell in love. That's a good one. I want to ask you though. I tend to always ask my guests on here. How do you feel being a Black man in today's society?
No, honestly, like I think about this every day. That's the terrifying part. So I will say I'm petrified sometimes, but I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud to show that, we come from a struggle that we're able to build from. And I mean, look at what we created. All this entertainment. I mean, come on, like last night, Beyonce got 28 Grammys. You serious? Right. Like we did that. You feel me? So I'm proud, but I'm also, terrified because I know that I can't live my everyday life without being targeted. I can't have a son without being targeted. I can't have a daughter without being targeted. Like, I'm Black. That's something that's going to forever be in me, and that's never going to change. So, I'm terrified sometimes, but I'm proud of it. I'm proud. I'm proud. Yeah.
It almost hurts that fact that you have to say that you're terrified, that in today's society, like that you have to feel that way, So I want to just jump into it. Speaking of you, how you said, you're terrified. It's just, I feel like a lot of my guy peers, like they do feel the same way. Like some of them, they be a little scared just walking down the street because God knows what happens. So in regards to that, I don't know if everybody listening, if you guys heard about the Georgia man who was found dead. He was hung from a tree. Now, so they're trying to say that this man committed suicide and killed himself. I think it's cap. There's this, if you look at it, for one, in the state that he is, Georgia, the southern states, it's that's like, not, I don't want to say the norm, but it's like it happens more so down there in those deep states, those deep southern states where we do get treated like that. People hang us and kill us for no reason. So what do you think about that? Do you I know you don't think it was a suicide.
No. And if it was, like, do y'all have a reason for that? My thing is, okay, you're gonna say it's a suicide. Can you really back that up? You know, do you have family members that are like, oh, he was dealing with this, he was dealing with that, he was dealing with this, but you're not giving that. You're not giving that information, and knowing the history of what goes on down there.
Exactly.
Come on, like so, like, and that's not the first incident.
Right.
Not within the past year. It's not, because I heard many incidents. So really, if you think that it's a suicide, you must not know your history.
Right.
Because It's the same thing that goes on in Virginia, the same thing that goes on in Alabama. All that down south got a history. So my thing is, okay, you tell me it's a suicide, not you, not generally, but news. You tell me it's a suicide, but thing is, I need concrete facts to back that up. Right. Like that's not something you can just tell me and then I walk away like, oh, that was just a suicide. No.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You know? Yeah. Knowing, like you said, knowing the history of it, I don't believe it's a suicide. Because like I said, we targeted it and it's still people that they might not be. I'm gonna speak on this too because I know.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to phrase it the right way because, growing up, you know, we I want to say taught. We learned from our ancestors, from our parents, from their parents that, you know, we were enslaved by white people, and I don't generalize every white person. That's not gonna happen. Right. But that doesn't mean, oh well, they're not like that now. No, there's some people that had parents that taught them that way. So, you know, that can still happen, and that's the thing I want people to understand is that they say segregation is ended. Deep down, it's still here. You know, it might look like that on the outside to everybody, but look really deep inside of this world. And I'm talking about in the crevices of everything that is happening in between. The small little details you think nobody would notice, that's where it's happening at. Right. So it's still here. Of course. For that same example, like what you just gave me with the Georgia incident, that it's still here. Yeah. It's still here.
And also too, it's like there have been, you know, people in our Black community who have killed themselves, but you got to look at how, if this was a suicide, you really think this man would have hung himself like this in the middle of the woods and, like, you know, that to me, that's a lynch. That looks like a lynching.
Right. On the tree though, like that.
On the tree,
that's way too specific. I wouldn't hang myself on a tree. Like if I was, no, that's not that. No.
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You know, we are on Zoom, y'all. So, you know, sometimes with this Zoom, it seems like that. But no, you good. Go ahead.
No, like you said, with the whole tree situation, like, I think there's many other ways to do that that wouldn't take woods and a tree. Now, that sounds way too specific, you know? And out of all of Black people committing suicide, right, tree in the was never one of them.
Exactly. So and that's the same thing I said.
No, I definitely agree with you on that.
And also I feel like they're gonna just end up, you know, it was a suicide and that's it. Case closed. They're not gonna, you know, because it probably happens so often on there that it's just sad. Okay, so in regards to how you said segregation, it's not over, but you know, it's going down, but it's not over. But so that brings me to my next question that I wanted to ask you. Do you feel like racism is still a problem? Me personally, yes, but there's many people who I've come across who feel like it's not an issue anymore, which I don't understand how in 2021 you still don't see that it's still an issue. And it's sad that in 2021 it still is an issue, but it definitely is in my opinion. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you touch on that. Do you feel that it's still a problem?
I mean, definitely. You know, Martin Luther King's death was not that long ago. And like right. I was born in 2000. So it's like it's crazy to think about it because I learned about it in school and I look at the date and I be like, oh, that is really not that long ago from when I was born. That's like 40 years. So it's just like that's not that long ago. And that's like, and it's crazy because it's 2021 now. You feel me? Right. I'm about to be 21 this year, and it's like this is still here. Now, going on off the fact that you said that people don't believe, I think people do believe. They just don't want to believe. They right. want this. They don't want to be in the real world, and I don't blame them. Because that's scary. Like to learn about that in school and then be like, dang, we still experiencing this is like, and I'm not gonna say on textbook because textbook is textbook. They white out sins. Like they not giving you the whole truth. So therefore, it's what other people went deep down and searched. Like, you got the internet, you're not gonna block everything off the internet. It's ways to really go down there and see every single thing. And me being me, I'm like, okay, this don't look right. Through this textbook, no, I'm gonna go research. I'm gonna go research something, you know. And seeing that as a kid, it changes you.
Yeah.
And it's definitely still here. And it's sad, like, that is millions of people being born every day. And they got to be born into it, you know? It's definitely still here. And I think people just want to put up this fantasy world that is not, because they scared to live in it. They scared to witness the horrors of something that was in the past, but it's still relevant till this day. And also why people, I don't say white people, but the reason that people think that, you know, racism is real is because they feel like whoever it is, they feel like they gotta be held accountable for it. I think that's a big one, because especially with generally like white people mostly, because, you know, I mean, I have white friends. I even have a white girlfriend, but she's not the type of person to be like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, you don't have to say sorry. You didn't do anything.
Right.
Like, you know, you're not that type of person. Don't say sorry to me, you know? So, but if you want to fight, let's fight, you know? And I think that's kind of what bugs me about the George Floyd thing, is because everybody set it up as a trend. This is not a trend. Like, it wasn't a trend when Trayvon got killed. It wasn't a trend when Rodney King got killed. This is not a trend. This is something that's happening every single day. Being 12 years old and experiencing Trayvon's murder was horrifying.
How was that? Yeah. How did you feel at 12-year-old thinking that could happen to you?
Terrified. Like, I'm living in the, like, how can I be safe? I got all brothers, no sisters, all brothers. And like, I got a twin, and like, me and him the oldest, and we got 2 younger ones. So it's like, we got to protect them. Like, we got to show them, like, look, this is how this is. And even I think about my 12 years old, thinking about myself in the future, like, how I'm gonna tell other people this? Like, I have kids born into this world. It's like, what's the target on your back automatically? You black. Like, you know, you want to have a talk about your son about girls. You don't want to have talk to your son about having how to put your hands on the dashboard so you don't get yourself shot.
Right.
Nah, you feel me? So that, I think, you know, 12 years old experiencing that, it's like, I gotta running my mom, running my dad about this situation, because I didn't even understand it as much. But I mean, I was a smart kid, so I knew what it was. And then just that whole case itself was very, very, very disappointing, because it's like what? Like, y'all don't see clear as day that, you know, he did this. Like,
right.
And like, oh, it's self-defense. Bro has Skittles in Arizona. What are you gonna do with that? Like, and especially that doesn't involve a gun. You know, like, come on, man. You know, so it just, you know, at that age, I was just terrified and learning, like, trying to figure out how to survive the next 8 years.
Right.
Which, I mean, thank God.
12 years old, that's what you were thinking.
Yeah, you know.
That's crazy.
I'm here 8 years now, 8 years later, but, you know, thank God, you know. So it's just like, it's crazy, but I really, that's what I was terrified of.
It saddens me that that's what was on your mind at 12 years old. Like, that's what you were thinking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I want to go, speaking on George Floyd, though, you brought him up. Did you hear how his family was awarded $27 million in the civil lawsuit and civil settlement? It's not enough to me. It's not enough justice for him. But what are your thoughts on that?
As in terms of money,
and the whole thing, period. Like,
in terms of the whole case, this is a bunch of BS. One, because I knew, like, I heard like a couple months ago that the cops got let off.
Yeah, so I feel like his family still didn't get justice.
Yeah, so that's like that didn't do anything. Well, money ain't gonna give me justice.
Bring him back.
Like, yeah, right. Like, that's not doing anything. You know, I don't care how much it is, $1 billion, whatever it is. I'm not taking no buyout because y'all did that, and then it's on video. It's literally on video.
Right.
The evidence is here. And that's one thing about social media that's